So this will be on trail day 172. It's Tuesday, October 19th of 2021. I stayed last night here at the Bald Mountain Shelter. I had my tent put up in a little clearing, a little grass spot. It was a good spot, but wasn't quite level enough, so had a hard time staying on my sleeping pad. But the sleeping pad stayed inflated most of the night. It felt a little deflated when I got off of it this morning. Then I came, had breakfast, and went back, and it seemed half flat. So that could just be from the air temperature in the pad. I'm not sure. But either way, it was comfy enough. So I got all my stuff packed up. My brother called me. He was on the phone with him for a little while, so I'm getting a late start. It's 12:05. And then I talked to hikers this morning, so my toes are a little sore, so I'm just going to do like 11 miles to the next shelter today. It was 18 miles. Just depends on the terrain. I may go past the shelter and camp, so we'll see, but I'm going to do at least 11 miles today. I think we've got some views coming up, so we'll be sure to check those out along the way. That's an interesting looking tree. Normally you see trees grow like that because there's a rock or something, but if there was a rock, it's not there now. It's got roots going in both directions. Huh. I'm climbing up Big Bald from the shelter. It's pretty gradual. It's only 2,500 foot of elevation gain in the next 10 miles. That's why I think I can do it by dark. Because yesterday it was like 4,000 foot of elevation in 6 miles, so. How much climbing you do does have an effect on how many miles you do. And then I think after today it starts getting pretty easy into hot springs, but I could be wrong. I haven't looked that far in a day or so. Hopefully we'll have a view at the top of Big Bald, at least as good as the one we had at Little Bald. Getting close to the top of Big Bald, getting some views. The trail came out of the woods right down there. Got a fake owl on a pole over there. There was a sign about migrating birds and traps and etc. Looks like there's a big tent up here. Maybe the observatory for the birds. Yeah, I got net set. Interesting. It looks like we may have some more views on up ahead, so. Thought this was kind of cool. This little rock grill looking thing here. And then there's some wooden platform thing right there. Right over here behind the rock, right off the trail. Wonder what used to be here to provoke that. I always find stuff like that interesting. Just some random oddity. Looks like we're going to go across this grassy area and get lots of views. A couple of hikers coming this way. See if we get a good view at the top. I don't know if it goes to the top of that in front of us or not. Just in case. I don't know if we're going over match packs today or not. Have to look and see. A bunch of hikers said I'm done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12 packs. Looks like a stuffed blue jay sitting on a fence post. There's another trail goes off that way. Still got a little bit of a view that direction. Let's see what we got next. So I checked and got hooks. No, we're Max Packs is on the other side of Hot Springs. So this is just Big Bald. You can see the trail coming down through there. There was a whole nother pile of packs at the crossroad. I expect to run into some people, but you never know. They could be on one of the other little side trails. I see there's bird pictures stapled in various places, or push pinned. Maybe doing a seek and find with a school group or something. Oh look, we see an owl. Still climbing. I hear voices up ahead, so that's probably all the pack owners. That's the trail come down just a few minutes ago. We're currently 5,400 feet. And we still got some climbing. So let's see what we see at the top. Made it to the top. And what a view. It's kind of cool you can drive up here. So, now we get to go downhill for a little while and enjoy all these wonderful views. I kept telling people last year, southbounders, I remember the one guy specific was about to cry because he was leaving New Hampshire. I think it was just a few miles into Vermont. And I mean literally, he was in tears. And I told him, you got wonderful views coming in Tennessee and North Carolina. Hopefully he made it down here to enjoy them. I could hike on trail like this with this kind of views for days. That's big bald up there, and we come down and around, and it was a steep rocky section. It wasn't very big, long, and then after that it's been pretty much like this, cruising right along. Looking like it's going to be another nice day. So I stopped, sat on this log, had lunch, some cream cheese and chives, Captain Wafers with packets of pulled pork and barbecue sauce from Walmart. The trail's right up there. I was going to sit on that log, but then I spied that was more waste time. So we got 6 miles to go and a short climb ahead of us. After that short but a leg burner of a hill climb, we've just been kind of walking along this ridge. That's the trail going north. This is going south. We are going uphill, but it's barely a grade at all. So you feel more like you're walking on flat ground. I think we got about 5 more miles to get to the shelter destination for this evening. It's a nice cool breeze, gentle breeze. I think it's supposed to start warming up at night, starting tonight for a little bit, so that'll be good. We can get an early start tomorrow. My toes are feeling alright at the moment. I can tell they're a little irritated, but they're not like hurting real bad or anything. So I think they'll be alright. There's an AT survey marker. And another funny rooted tree. I wonder what the acorn or seed or whatever landed on and started growing. It's not there anymore. An old barbed wire fence. I get to stroll downhill now. Here's a little view spot. Not bad. Still going downhill, but the grade leveled out some. I've ran into, I don't know, half a dozen or more hikers today. Section hikers or day hikers, no through hikers. There was 3 at the shelter last night, but I haven't seen any on the trail. And the 3 at the shelter last night was planning to do a 18-mile day today, so unless they're still in hot springs. The day I get there, I won't see them, probably, but you never know. There's a couple of hostels that are off of the road we're going to cross today. But I don't plan to go to any of them. You could almost stay in a hostel or some sort of something like that every night, it seems like, if you wanted. Since we've gotten to Tennessee, anyway. I guess they have to have so many down here. The bubble so large in the spring. Kind of walked out in this open field. There's a single set of vehicle tracks and what looks to be a trail. The AT's going this way. The vehicle tracks is coming up through the woods. We crossed just below this field down there at the tree line, and they were going down in that valley down in the woods. That'd be kind of a cool off-road, I guess. A little bit of a view over there. You can see the trail across the fields where we were a while ago. We're climbing up this hill. It looks extremely short. Almost to the top. Got a pretty good view here. I think that patch somewhere right up in there maybe was Big Bald, but I'm not 100% sure. Big Bald could have been on the other side somewhere and would come from around, who knows. That could be some other bald. Well, just getting to the top of this hill and down the other side. Now this is a steep downhill. One of those into your toes, into the end of your shoes. I just started, not too far up there, as far as the steep part. I don't think it goes on very long, but and these are the downhills that are uncomfortable. Oh. And I know we got some in North Carolina, maybe even Tennessee before it's over. It's going to be like this. Gotta keep your toenails short. Hear a woody woodpecker off in the distance. I stopped for lunch earlier. There was a woodpecker. I'm assuming a woodpecker. It was making a noise. It's like this consistent hammering, just back to back to back to back to back to back, non-stop, for like 10 minutes. And it was almost annoying. And then I heard an owl bellow once or twice, and the hammering suddenly stopped. So I don't know if the owl was like, shut up, I'm trying to sleep, or I'm gonna come eat you, or what, but I didn't ever hear the hammering anymore. Oh. Gee. Doesn't look that steep from this angle, but that sucked. All my toes are yelling now. Tennessee welcomes you. So I'll just come down trail from there. Kind of follow along. I think I'm going to go under this interstate overpass. I saw a documentary a hiker made a couple years ago. I cannot remember the name of it. It just came up in my YouTube whatever, and it was a pretty good one. He just compiled all of his footage he had and made a documentary. This overpass, in the documentary, they were sleeping on the little ledge up under the top, and it looked a lot like this overpass. I thought about it when I went under overpasses before, but none of them looked like it, so this might be the one. I always thought it'd be kind of cool to do that, but all the road traffic would be annoying. But if I ever went to sleep, I'd sleep right through, I think. Made it to the parking lot. I gotta find where the trail is on the other side. Yep, this looks like it to me. I'd have to go back and watch the documentary to be sure, but they just kind of tucked in up under the girders or whatever those are called. I see a beer bottle up there. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But this is not too loud when cars go over, really. Probably got like 2 miles left to go. Something like that. Welcome Center, 6 miles. Not going there. There's a trail up there by that road. We are getting there. It is about 10 minutes to 5. I still have an hour and 57 minutes to sunset. So we should be in camp and set up by dark. If there's no one there, I might sleep in the shelter, I don't know. It just depends. I know there was some comments in Gahooks about this shelter being my city, so probably not. I just like my tent. I see a blaze there and a blaze over there, so I guess we're going up this paved road. It showed we were climbing after the interstate crossing, so I just didn't know it'd be on pavement. Oh well. So I got a mile and a half to get to the shelter. And like an hour and a half before dark, I stopped and sat on this log, and took a pack off break. Shoulder straps and all were aggravating me. I've adjusted them a little bit. Sometimes it's best to just pick the pack off and start all over. So we got like 600 foot of elevation and between here and the shelter. 500's in the next mile. And I count about 500 log steps, so that's probably about right. I don't know why they put these here, but keep the trail from washing out. It sure does make the climb more difficult. Oh, we made it to the top. Trail follows that fence. Comes up through these rocks. I think this is the top anyway. Now we're going down here. That wasn't too bad really. Once I got past all those logs. Whew. But of course now I'm all sweaty. Nothing like a sweaty climb before camp. It says the water source is like a quarter mile from the shelter, but it's a meandering quarter mile. I just always hate leaving my pack, even if it's only like 15-20 minutes down to the water and back. That's enough time for a bear or something like that to grab it and run off, and that would suck. And I consider this meandering. So we'll see about this water source when we get there. Okay, so we still had some more climbing to do. It was not quite to the top. We are now, and here's a trail that goes off to a thing called High Rock. It did not look super long on gut hooks, but I don't know. Yeah, don't know. And it looks like it kind of goes off downhill, so probably a rock cliff or something. And I don't know what this is. It almost looks like the top of a casket. That would be very strange, but it's the only thing I can think of. The size, the length. I don't see a tombstone or anything, so I don't know. How much further we got? Like 0.2, 0.3. I looked just a little bit ago, it was 0.7, I think. And that was before the hill climb. So we'll be cruising in there shortly at 6:15, so should have time to set up before dark. Anytime I get to camp, get set up before dark, it was a good day. toes aren't feeling too bad, so maybe I'll get up and start it early tomorrow. A little bit of view through the trees. Way off at the top. Probably doesn't show on camera, but I can see the big grassy top. I think that's Big Bald, where we started this morning. Or got there shortly after starting. If my toes wasn't sore, I'd feel pretty good overall, so I get them happy, I'll be good. Alright. We should be done with climbs now. But you never know. Sometimes it likes to just sneak one in there on you. Get to camp, drop my pack, go get water before my toes freeze up and decide we're done walking. A little camp spot. A little bit of view between the trees. It may just be the way the sun's shining on it. It looks like there's a whole patch down there that's like a yellowish color, but it could just be a sun ray beaming through from somewhere. Just kind of strolling along this ridge. There we go. Yeah, I think it may just be the sun. The shelter trail should be coming up here shortly. Yeah, it looks like we got one last climb. I told you they'd get one in there on. I see the shelter down to my left and a blue tent, so there's definitely people there. So I guess that's it for today. And then I'll pick it back up in the morning. Not a bad day, just 10 miles. I'll look at gut hooks tonight. Figure out somewhat of a plan for tomorrow. Either way, we'll be in Hot Springs in just a couple of days. So we'll be hiking again tomorrow.